Okay, hello. So, instead of texting or even a voice message, this is something I want to document for myself as well. How much I have stepped into myself in the past month. Today is June 4th. Um, Honestly, I don't even remember who I was a month ago. I know it sounds really crazy. I feel so free and, I don't know, liberated. Like a month ago, I remember just being so scared and so fearful, so doubtful in all of my decisions, and I second guess everything. I mean, throughout the past month, I'm still, there are times where I'm still like, because it is a new paradigm, a new story, a new shift, um, a new habits. It really does start with choosing your story and changing and deciding in the moment, and after moment by moment, it builds up the story, and I'm just amazed, honestly. Like, I can actually, like, look at my boobs, feel my boobs, and I love my boobs. And I have never felt that way, even in the highest, I guess, moment where I felt free and beautiful or in my best shape. I still didn't love my boobs and my breasts, but now I do, and I'm so surprised. So I wrote here a whole page of things that has changed. So I'm just gonna go down it because I don't really know. I'll be everywhere. It probably is still everywhere, but that's okay. So here we go. Oh, I'll go over that at the end. Okay, so I think that these are the biggest changes. I'm sure there are more, but these are what really stick out to me when I was sitting down this morning to kind of go over everything. Um, First, always be in the question. I think we are always taught to be in the answer, of the how, whens, and where or whatnot, but just be in the question, how can I, um, make this happen, or how can I, what choices can I make, what energy can I embody, show me, universe, how can I, da 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 da, whatever it is. How can money, what choices can I make? Um, and knowing that everything is really just truly really simple, and your body knows everything. And I think we forget. I'm kind of not a health nut, but I like researching about the physical body. But one thing that I haven't gotten in touch with is getting in touch with your body and listening to your body. Your body has all the answers. It's not just physical symptoms or bodily symptoms or answers that you're looking for. Anything. Your energy is part of your body. The 75 trillion cells that I've learned are energy. So when you ask, they answer. Um, and not everything is so serious. When you know this, it's simple. It's just, for me, it is hard work. You need to be aware. You need to always ask. Always be in the question, and it will be delivered. Let's see what else. Um, the changing your story, and another thing is, you are queen. You decide. As scared as I am, I remember at one point I was so scared, and I remember Sophia telling me, well, you're the cosmic 3-year-old about to take center stage, and that scares the crap out of me. Or it did then. Now I'm just kind of like, well, let's see what else comes up. I actually see as, well, this might be kind of fun. So we'll see. Um, and in the story, I am queen, so that's what I will imagine or see in myself first. Well, how would my queen, or how would a queen, handle this situation? My queen is Sonia Lilith Wayfarer, so how would she handle this? Another thing I struggled with before this was worthiness, or having to deserve something. So, like, um, one day when I was working on it, I had heard a voice that just said, "You're silly. Worthiness was never a question." Ever since then, everything's kind of fallen into place. I think the biggest thing for me was knowing that anything and everything that comes in through people or things, they are just channels of God. And me being a mother, I don't make my children deserve my love or what I give them. I just give it to them because I love them. So that was a huge thing for me to overcome. Let's see what else. You just got to be open to receive and allow yourself to receive. Let's see. Um, and this is something I'm still kind of playing with, that everything is already done. So as soon as I imagine something, I'm literally shifting parallel into a different reality. And so there is no lack. All the money, all the love, all the sex, all the friends, all the friendship, they're all there. I just need to shift into that certain timeline. Let's see. Self-love. This one's a huge one. I have always been the hopeless romantic, self-sacrificing. That's what I grew up with, and that's the story that I chose to grow up with or to live. I've been in shitty relationships. I've been stepped over, manipulated, abused emotionally, a little bit physically, spiritually, all of that, and I allowed it because I didn't know how to love myself. And this one's a huge one where we hear that a lot, to love yourself first, but where do you even start? And this has been truly, definitely the biggest life game changer for me, I believe. And loving myself is acknowledging all of me, the feminine and the masculine, the divinity of both of them, and to know that I can give myself both. I can give myself the protection, the warmth, the support, like a man would, and embrace. That's how I see a man, a vessel to embrace me, to hold me. And I can be the feminine, the sensual, the nurturer, the lover that brings out this whole, I don't know, the spark of the union. Um, I used, and with that, I'm used to dimming my light because ever since I was young, I'm used to my family, sister or cousins being, jealous or being intimidated. So I would dim myself down, and I still did that until when I quit my job, my recent job. I just threw away a whole bunch of clothes because I was like, oh, that's too sexy. You can't wear that. You'll draw attention to yourself. And I think I felt she was never mean about it. We're pretty close. She's an amazing person. But I felt the same like intimidation, I guess. And so when I feel people being uncomfortable with me, I would dim myself, make myself smaller. But I'm starting to be at even in my relationship, that I'm trying to step away from. He's the same way. He tries to make me feel small when he's feeling small, and I'm kind of done and over with. It is one of those things where it's hard because we have a daughter together, but it really is ultimately up to me to say enough is enough. And again, it helps for me to see myself as queen with a crown on my head. Well, if my subjects were acting the way he was, would I give him my time, my energy? No, I wouldn't. So that's what I'm struggling with right now, to enforce or put down my foot as a queen. That, and just getting to know my body. I remember when I was younger, I don't know, maybe 6 or 7. No, I was older than that. Maybe 8, 7 or 8 years old. I remember exploring myself, and I felt so much shame about it. And, throughout my life, there were times where I'm just like, whoa, but then there was always that shame. I'm at the point where, whatever, I want to go into this deeper. And it's really just very magical, and I'm excited that there's so much to learn or to remember. And the more that I get into this owning my body, the more that I don't feel alone, the more that I love my body, which I'm dedicating gratitude to a part each day. Yesterday was my boobs or my breasts. Today I forgot to pick something, so I think I'm gonna pick my hands. But knowing that I am made up of 75 trillion cells, I am 75 trillion cells, they are me, how can I be alone? And I'm actually really enjoying this inward journey. And again, I'm not like when I first started, I was just like, oh my gosh, this timid little, I don't know, rose. But I don't know how to describe it. I was just really timid. I was really soft. I was afraid of hurting anyone and everyone's feelings. I'm not here to hurt anyone's feelings. I know my heart is in the right place, so I'm just going to be me and live my truth. And if they're going to be hurt, they're going to be hurt. That's them, not me. So that is huge. Oh, another thing that I love is that everything is energy. Every person is energy. So if I want a certain job, I need to align with that energy. If I want a certain lover, I need to align with the energy that I want in that lover. That's huge. I'm working on that. And I am really seeing the effects of being in joy, pleasure, relaxation, how things just come really easily. Like just in the past few days, like I was just kind of in a relaxed state, just kind of having a laid back day with my kids, and things would just hit, that I normally wouldn't even think about. So that was pretty awesome. See what else. Freely. Can't read my own handwriting. Oh, another thing, back to the body thing. I need to remember to make it more of a habit to always ask my body, is this good for me? Because yesterday I ran out of my, I don't know what it's called, a natural deodorant. And so I used my son's deodorant, and one of my armpits broke out already. So one of those things that, you don't think about, but it makes a difference. And another thing I'm learning is totally embracing myself, all of me, no matter what it is, all the quirks, all the physical flaws, everything. Because I look back at it and gosh, I wish I loved my body when I was 20, when I was so self-critical, because I didn't know how to love my body. I was too busy making myself small and putting myself down to excuse other people's actions and how they treated me. Let's see. Another thing, rule, receive, serve as a queen. I was always so freely giving and serving but I always miss the steps of ruling and receiving. One thing that Sophia really opened my eyes to is you serve from abundance. You don't serve from depletion, and that is so true. If I was depleted all the time, let's just say to my kids, I would have nothing to give them. I need to be in abundance and vibrancy for them. And that's what I'm feeling now. I feel alive. I am alive. I am vibrant. I am radiant. And I don't know how else to put into words. It's like, yay, I'm home. Or I'm getting there. I just feel like I'm so close. And that's another thing for my kids too. This is such a great gift to give to them. Like, I can't wait until my daughter starts to get older that I can talk to her about her vagina or her sensuality. Everyone's going to have different ages where they start realizing this. And I think she's going to start young. She's already kind of playing with herself as a tease. She's a big flirter. I can learn a lot from her. But I can't wait to, and I was thinking about it this morning, I'm sure her friends will not have, openness. I hope they do. But if they don't, then I would be there to help them to, learn about their menstrual cycles, or if they need a shave or whatever it is, and to love themselves. And I can't wait for that. And same thing with my son. At lunch yesterday, I don't remember how it came up, but I was telling him, the body is just the body, there's no shame to it. We were talking about how the body is actually, he brought it up, history and art, nudes in history. And so we were kind of talking about that, how nudes in history back then, there was a lot of sensuality and love and reverence for it, whereas nowadays it's more of commercialized and sexualized, and that's not how that's not the energy that you need to bring into it. I honestly am okay with him looking at nudity or nudes right now, but I want him to appreciate the female body for what it is, the wonder and the beauty for what it is. And so that was supposed to be our project this week, for him to compare nudity in history versus nudity nowadays and see the difference, the energy shifts in them. So I love that that's there. And oh my